World-renowned economist David Ndii, who was the keynote speaker, opened his address with a quote from Adam Smith, a Scottish philosopher, an economist and the author of Wealth of Nations.
A little else is requisite to carry a state to the highest degree of opulence, from the lowest barbarism, but peace, easy taxes, and a tolerable administration of justice, all the rest being brought about by the natural cause of things. All governments which thwart this natural cause, which force things into another channel, or which endeavor to arrest the progress of society at a particular point, are unnatural, and to support themselves are obliged to be oppressive and tyrannical.
However, the economist was quick to point out that though Adam Smith simplistically captured good governance, it is not an easy undertaking, and therein lays the root of our failure as a continent.
Easy as it sounds, and that's the point I want to make. Just what people call, when you say that maintaining peace, sort of economic stability, sort of having a system of justice which works. Those are not easy things to do. Otherwise, we would be living in utopia. Yeah, those are the things that's where most of our failures is. If you look at this continent, it's largely in that realm. So the fact that he makes it sound easy in itself is actually where political leadership fails most. That no proactive role.
He went on to point out the Japanese success story, which can be traced to its political reform.
Japan's economic modernization is actually attributed to the political reformation called the Meiji Restoration, which was itself a political modernization project that unified Japan and a sort of constitutional monarchy and created what would today actually, for the time, a fairly sort of progressive democratic constitution.
He was very clear on the role of the political class in the creation of an enabling environment for economic development.
Of course, the role of political leadership is first and foremost to maintain or create political order. And it stands to reason, it's fairly obvious that you cannot develop economically in an environment of political disorder. So, political chaos. So obviously it seems to me that the first question that we ought to address is not what is the role of, in the African context, it's not the role of political leaders in economic development, or the way, the first inquiry into the role of political leaders in economic development is the role of political leaders in creating political order. Because that's the first thing you have to do, it's a precondition. So first of all, so if you've not been able to create political order, you cannot move to the next step of talking about economic development. So I think the disorder stops you right there.
In his wisdom, he noted that two major things should preoccupy African leaders with the current state of things: food and jobs.
Yeah. So if you ask what challenges should be preoccupying African leaders, and us as intellectuals as well, is food and jobs. That's simple.
For Africa to realize her full economic potential, its political house must be put in order, and this calls upon each and every son and daughter born on the cradle of mankind to take up their place and push for good governance across all political spheres. For Brand Plus TV Business News, I am Daisy Wambua.